the way is the core factor of Sun Tzu's principles. In our day-to-day lives, the Tao can be our central mission. It can form the uniting force in a competitive organization. If applied in business, for instance, Tao helps to serve the real requirements of people, since the mission of the business becomes centered on them. It helps to attract customers, employees, supporters, and other associating allies. Basically, Tao inculcates introspection, which points towards the outcome of whatever action you may be contemplating on making before you actually commit to it. When thinking strategically, this is the key factor. So again, the way, the Tao, the way is a natural law or order of things, and our philosophy being in harmony with the way things are and the way we try to emulate them in our organization, then that will breed success. The more in harmony with nature and the way things truly are, that our mission, our goals are, better chance for success. So, swimming upstream, even salmon, they die the next day. You don't want to swim upstream. Remember, the second category was the climate or timing, the Tian. The climate or timing in Sun Tzu's philosophy implied changes in the weather, seasons, temperature, etc. Although in warfare conditions, the climate can be one of the most uncontrollable factors. A good leader in general will know how to utilize them most advantageously. So again, we are always looking to seize on opportunities when they arise. We cannot control the weather, but if we read Poor Richard's Almanac, or if we are aware of the local climate and the timing of that, then we can seize on those forecast changes and events. My brother, who studies all kinds of stuff when it comes to finance, knew in the real estate market that it operates on about a 17-year cycle. So when the housing market hit everybody and caught everyone by surprise, my brother said, "What surprise? There have been 3 or 4 previous cycles, and right around 17 years, it happens all the time." Of course, unfortunately, the housing cycle, because of previous, maybe not entirely, there's always been greed, graft, and corruption, but the unprecedented greed, graft, and corruption, unchecked by unprecedented lack of governmental oversight and regulations, allowed not only a housing bubble burst, but also in the banking and lending industry as well, which that trifecta was something that was previously not experienced in the normal housing state. Very devastating to all the little people, not so much to the actual criminals who caused it.
Or banks.
Well, the criminals in charge
Yeah.
of the banks that caused it. Our $1 trillion buyout just gave them golden parachutes and kept them out of jail and did not prevent anyone from losing their houses, forfeiting their mortgages, having their credit destroyed, and all of the other mess that goes along with it. And as an added bonus, we now had a tremendous additional amount of national debt that only the little taxpayer has to shovel us out from under if that ever happens. So at any rate, timing, whether you're talking about the market or war, and climate, again, whether you're talking about the market or war, is everything. A good leader or general will know how to utilize them most advantageously. You will pick the most opportune moment to fight, using bad weather in such a way that it causes the most harm to the enemy. Likewise, this can be applied to our personal lives too. In order to succeed, we must capitalize on whatever the situation may be. Seize opportunities despite the conditions being in a state of fluctuation beyond our control, and turn them into advantages. So a general, if he thinks rain may be coming, of course high ground is almost always the advantageous area you want to confront your opponent on, but particularly if you suspect there's going to be a real monsoon coming and you want to have your high ground over a sparsely foliated where there's going to be lots of mud, and so it's 10 times harder to fight uphill. It's already no fun fighting uphill. Now fight uphill when you have a torrential downpour washing mud on you. You're not going anywhere. You are easy pickings to the people coming down if they choose to, or they just wait and build up the body count while you foolishly do that. So again, climate and timing key to in your development of your strategy and selecting where your encampment is, where you want to battle, etc. And here, that was the perfect accidental segue. Terrain or ground. The D is the terrain or ground is an area where military operations will take place. And although the battlefield can be an uncontrollable factor, a good general will know how to use it in a way most advantageous to his own men, as we just described. So the choices you make in designing your strategy need to carefully incorporate the terrain or ground into that strategy. Leadership or command, the Zhang, is key because that means the abilities and qualities that the general himself and his officers possess. And here is representative of virtues like courage, wisdom, benevolence, sincerity, and strictness. And you think on the outset that benevolence and strictness are opposed. Well, they're not opposed. They are the same thing, as we have learned that opposites are complementary, yin and yang of the same whole. So it is necessary for a good leader to be both strict and demanding, as well as benevolent and giving or considerate to his men. The wise leader has the ability to recognize changing situations and act accordingly. Every good Marine, improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Semper Fi.
So, if benevolent, he
Hoorah.
empathizes with his men and appreciates their toil and diligence. When he displays sincerity, his troops are assured of their just rewards as well as their punishments. With strictness, he inculcates discipline in his men. And the leader in any situation defines and creates his organizational unit by his skills of making correct decisions and his character. Remember, how did Sun Tzu rise to ultimate power? He disobeyed the emperor and chopped off the head of his two favorite girls. However, that highly motivated all the other girls, and by the next morning, they were a crack drill team with extreme discipline going on.
Sounds like a manager at IBM I had.
Which is absolutely essential, which is one of the things I don't agree with the tactics in boot camp as far as from a personal level. Just like when reading The Prince or in what the Tao said about the leader must keep the men or his subjects fat, dumb, and happy. From a philosophical or a spiritual standpoint, I disagree with that completely. But from the reality standpoint of fulfilling your responsibility as the leader and to ensure the public good and general order and safety of all of the civilization or all of that community, kingdom, whatever, then there are harsh realities that must be done. And strictness and discipline is essential. So I do not argue it is truly a blueprint on changing sloppy civilians who are all independent in their thinking, their beliefs, many of them with no motivation, having never experienced discipline, some of them coming with a silver spoon in their mouth, having never been spanked, never had to give 100%, always had an easy life, or some of them having had such a hard life that they don't trust anyone, they won't follow anyone, they are looking for an opportunity to take advantage of anyone around them because that's how they had to survive up to that point. And in only about 13 weeks, brainwashing all of those different mentalities into lean fighting machines that will immediately follow all lawful orders and recognize that the success of the mission and the survival of my unit is more important than my own happiness or even survival. So completely changing the thinking into something that will win wars is what command and leadership is all about. And it requires you to do things that you don't wish to do on a personal level, but that is necessary to do for the success of the mission. And lastly, the fifth ingredient is the methods, or fa. organizations we belong to, our systems, procedures, and processes, are all elements of the methods we adopt to survive and win. The methods we use must be effective and efficient, along with being consistent with the central purpose of our lives and the Tao. So there's the 5 elements that make for winning at anything. And the leader who incorporates those 5 elements, the great general in war or the CEO in a company, that is what incorporating these 5 facets is what helps ensure success.